So it's time to run it back with another Imperialism, but this time it's a bit different. You might notice there's no NHL teams on this map, but instead we have draft classes. So welcome to Draft Class Imperialism. Of course, we have to start it off as we always do with a wheel spin. We're going to find out our first attacking draft class, and that's going to be 2019. And what direction is 2019 going to be heading? It looks like they're heading east, but slightly north as well. 2019 is going to be all the way up in the top left corner, and with them heading northeast, but mainly east, they're going to be entering 2013 territory, and that's who they're going to be taking on. Hey, this is Stick on the Ice from the future. Yeah, Stick on the Ice is an absolute idiot, and he forgot to add the 2020 draft class onto the Imperialism map. But don't worry, because instead of adding the 2020 draft class, I added 2023, even though the rookies aren't in the game yet. So 2023 eventually gets removed from the map and 2020 gets added. Don't worry, it doesn't affect any of the matchups based on where I place them, but real talk, that's a rare L moment from Stick on the Ice. Don't worry, it doesn't affect the outcome in the future. So here's the 2019 draft class right here. Of course, headlined by some greats: Jack Hughes, Cole Caulfield, Trevor Zegras is here. The bottom six doesn't look great compared to other draft classes, but it's still not too bad. Defensively, this team has two guys at the top that are pretty solid for them, Bo Byram and Mo Sider, but the other two pairings, not looking too great. And in between the pipes, they have a decent goaltender in Spencer Knight. They got a great backup in Kochetkov, but I'm not really sure if they can compete with 2013. Because the 2013 draft class, I would say it's slightly better. Of course, you got Nathan McKinn here, Busnevich, Barkov, Getzel, Lindholm, but the true guy on this team that's leading the way, of course, Andre Burakovsky. If you know, you know. Defensively, this team's absolutely elite from top to bottom. Probably one of the best defensive cores are going to be seen today. And in between the pipes, they have UC Saros and Tristan Jarry. I have a hard time believing 2019 is going to be able to beat this team. So here we go. We got our first matchup of the day. And I think it's important to note that we're not doing any free states anymore. Nah, we just want matchup after matchup. And to start this matchup off, the 2013 draft class, they're getting on the board first, picking up 2 goals in the first period. But in the second, we're going scoreless. So the third period is going to be a good one to watch. But we're actually not going to be watching it because I'm going to be simming it because I'm not watching the AI play each other. I'm just not doing that. But in saying that, here's Cole Caulfield picking up a goal just 5 minutes into the period, and he's making this one interesting. And in the final seconds of this game, 2019 is making one last push, but that pass is going to be broken up. Shea Theodore is going to clear it from the zone, and the 2013 draft class is going to be taking our first matchup of the video. So normally when a team wins a matchup like this, they would be claiming one player away from the opponent. However, in this case, I'm not going to be doing that because we're trying to find out which draft class is the best. And honestly, it just wouldn't make sense if I added Jack Hughes to the 2013 draft class and then they go on to win it, because it's not really the 2013 draft class winning, if you know what I mean. So after that exciting matchup, we're moving on to our next one, and this time around it looks like 2018 is going to be attacking. The 2018 draft class is going to be taking their talents west, and through heading west, we're going to have a clear matchup for the 2018 draft class as they're going to be taking on the 2012 draft class. Since the 2018 draft class still consists of a lot of young players, a lot of these guys haven't developed, so the top guys here are Brady Tkachuk and Svechnikov at 8-9 overalls. Defensively, this team's got 2 studs here. Actually, they have a handful of studs. What am I talking about? Rasmus Dahlin, Noah Dobson, Quinn Hughes, Keandre Miller, Sean Dursey, and Adam Boquist. Honestly, that's a pretty solid defensive core. Definitely not the best we're seeing today, but it could be a lot worse. But I think it's safe to say the real question mark for this team is in between the pipes, as they have Schmidt and Hofer manning the net together. This is definitely not your ideal goaltending tandem. All things considered though, the 2012 draft class isn't that much better than 2018. Of course, Tomas Hertl's here, Philip Forsberg, Chandler Stevenson, Teuvo Teravainen, Tom Wilson. They got a great top 6, but the bottom 6? Honestly, it's not stellar by any means. Defensively, it's a pretty solid core here. Morgan Riley, Colton Parenko, Jacob Slavin, Trouba, Dumba, and Lindholm. And in between the pipes, they have a better goaltending tandem. It's actually a much better goaltending tandem, Vasilevsky and Allmark. So that's probably what's going to be the difference maker here. So here we go, 2018 versus 2012. I've got all my money on 2012. Like, the goaltending tandem, I don't think that's going to be possible to beat. Then again, 2018 is coming out hot. They're picking up 2 goals, while the 2012 draft class, they're only going to be picking up 1 here. But 2012, they're going to even it up in the second period, so we're going to have a very entertaining third period once again. Okay, we've got a lot of goal scoring so far in the third period. 2018 picked up back-to-back goals, but 2012 found a way to respond. It's a 1-goal game, and we're headed into the final 5 minutes here. So here we go, empty net, 14 seconds left. 2012 is going to try to keep their hopes alive. They're down 1 goal right now. They're going to win the faceoff. Parenko over to Morgan Riley. Athanasiou's got the puck. I have no clue why he's out there right now. Like, real talk, out of all the players you can have on the ice right now, why do you have Athanasiou out there? Colton Parenko's going to get a shot toward the net. It's going to be an easy save, and time's going to run out for the 2012 draft class, and the 2018 is making the massive upset. Now, like, no disrespect to Athanasiou, but in crunch time, that's who you have on the ice, definitely not my first selection. So although 2012 might not have been the deepest draft class, we probably got rid of one of the best goaltending tandems we're going to see today. So there's really two draft classes I'm looking forward to. It's the 2015 draft class and the 2017 draft class. We were pretty close to 2017, but we're actually getting 2008. Okay, so this is actually a pretty tough one to judge. It's south, but also slightly east. Now, if we look at this map here, if we were to head directly south, we end up in 2017. But if we were to go southeast, we actually end up in Columbus, which is the 2007 draft class. For the sake of this matchup, south would be going like this, directly down, which would lead into 2017. But we're also going slightly east, so I'm going to say the 2008 draft class is taking on 2007. So let's be completely honest here, the 2008 draft class is incredibly mid. Steven Stamkos, Jordan Eberle, Cam Atkinson, the rest of this team for the forward core is absolutely cooked, like absolutely horrendous. Defensively though, nah, this is the best defensive team we're going to see today. Roman Josi, John Carlson, Erik Karlsson, Drew Doughty, Jared Spurgeon, Alex Pietrangelo. On your third pairing, you have an 89 and 86. And in between the pipes, you still got yourselves a solid goaltender in Jacob Markstrom. But honestly, the forwards and goaltending on this team aren't very good. Defensively though, that might be able to steal you a matchup or two. The 2007 draft definitely has some more help for their forward core. Logan Couture, Max Pacioretty, Patrick Kane, Voracek, Backlund, and Perron. Defensively, obviously this team's not as good. It's not even nearly as good. The third pairing from the 2008 draft class is better than the top pairing from the 2007, just to put that into a bit of perspective. And in between the pipes, this is what we're going to be rocking with for goaltenders. Now you might be thinking, I'm just screwing the 2007 draft class and I don't care about them. But that's actually not the case, because here's the 2007 draft class. Scott Darling played the most games out of anyone from this draft class, and he played 126. He retired in 2019. Outside of him, we have Alan York and Jeremy Smith as the only other goaltenders to play more than 10 games, or play 10 games exactly in Jeremy Smith. So due to this draft class being so poor in goaltender talent, you guys get two 65 overall goaltenders. So I think we already know how this matchup's going to go. The team with the 65 overalls in between the pipes are probably going to lose. That being said, they have a 1-0 lead right now, and we're heading into the third period. Ain't no way a 65 overall goaltender gets a shutout. Like, that's just not possible. Ain't no way that happens. 4, 3, 2, 1. This game's over. A 65 overall goaltender just got a shutout. That didn't just happen. Hold on. 3 stars of the game. I hit continue by accident. Hold on. We got to look at the stats here. Alex Killorn picked up the lone goal of the game. In between the pipes was Joe NHL. Joe NHL made 40 saves. A 65 overall goaltender with a backup role and AHL potential just got a shutout. Ain't no way that just happened. You're telling me this team couldn't find a way to score 1 goal on a 65 overall goaltender? I understand this team wasn't good, but they still had a bunch of great defensemen: Erik Karlsson, Roman Josi, Drew Doughty, and they also had great forwards. I don't know where Steven Stamkos is, but he's on this team. Jordan Eberle's here. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of forwards that are in like high 70s, low 80s. You're telling me they couldn't score 1 goal on a 65 overall goaltender? Ain't no way. So that was supposed to be a free win for the 2008 draft class, but I guess that's not happening. Somehow 2007's doing the impossible, the 65 overall in between the pipes. Nah, real talk, I'm jumping on the 2007 hype train right now. If this team can somehow win draft class Imperialism with a 65 overall goaltender, that just proves they're the greatest draft class of all time. There's no way you would be able to debate otherwise. The next draft class we're going to see on the attack is going to be the 2010 class. It looks like 2010 is going to be heading north, and that means we're going to have a team entering their second matchup. And since 2010 controls California, if we go directly north, that's entering some 2013 territory. The 2010 draft class has a ton of studs on the forward core, and they also have some amazing depth here. Mark Stone, Tarasenko, Kuznetsov, Tyler Seguin, Zach Hyman, and Jeff Skinner give me the top 6 here. And looking at the bottom 6, honestly, this is a really solid forward core. Defensively, they might not be the greatest in the world, but they still got some guys here in Cam Fowler, John Klingberg, and Justin Falk. Meanwhile, in between the pipes, we're going to see a Toronto tandem with Freddie Anderson and Jack Campbell in between the pipes. So technically, Freddie Anderson was drafted twice. He was drafted in the 2010 draft in the 7th round, and then he was drafted again in 2012 with the 87th overall pick. For the sake of this video, he's classified as a part of the 2010 draft class, seeing as that was the first time he was ever drafted. To start this matchup off, Ryan Hartman's going to be picking up the first goal of the game, but in the second, the 2010 draft class is going to be responding, and that's all because of Vladimir Tarasenko. So we're entering the third period in a tie game. The 2013 draft class is going to be picking up 2 goals in a minute, one from Bo Horvat, one from Nathan McKinnon, so they've got themselves a 2-goal lead heading into the final minute 30. So with time winding down, the 2010 draft class took a crucial penalty in the final minutes here, so they're not going to be able to get back into this one, and 2013's taking their second game. With that defense from 2013, they've claimed some more land on the west coast, and with the land they already owned in the north, they're all over the map. 2013's done a great job defending their land, land, but they eventually got to get on the attack. And on the attack next, that's going to be the 2011 draft class. It looks like we're going to be heading in a similar direction as our last matchup, as once again, we're heading northwest. And honestly, you can't make this up. Where is 2011 located on this map right now? Right here. And where is northwest for them? Well, you could go directly north into 2013 territory. But if you go northwest, that's also 2013 territory. So the 2013 draft class continues to get into matchups here. Don't know how they keep doing it, but they do. The 2011 draft class has a ton of studs here. Mark Schleifele, Johnny Gaudreau, Nikita Kucherov, Landeskog, Zibanejad, Huberdeau. That's just the top 6. The bottom 6 gets even better. I mean, it doesn't really get even better, but compared to some of the other top 6s we've seen today, it's pretty elite. The defense is also pretty solid. I mean, they're not outstanding by any means, but you got Jonas Brodin and Dougie Hamilton here. 2 solid guys that can lead the way. And in between the pipes, they got John Gibson. With a solid team around Gibson, he can definitely win you a few games. So far, 2013 is on pace to win their 3rd game, and they haven't even attacked yet. It's just been 3 straight defenses. And once again, they're going to be picking up the first goal of the game. The legend, the absolute legend, and Andre Burakovsky's picking up the first goal. You can never doubt this man. The defense on both teams are going to be exchanging goals, so we got ourselves a 1-goal lead heading into the final period. It had been basically a scoreless period the entire way, but Bo Horvat's going to pick one up at the 4-minute mark, and now we're entering the 3rd period with about 2 minutes left in a 2-goal game. In the final seconds of this game, Buchnevich has got the puck in the neutral zone. He's going to bury this one into the empty net, and for the 3rd time in this video, 2013 is completing another defense. I don't know what's going on with this 2013 draft class. I know they've got a bunch of elite talent here, but the fact that they've won 3 games so far is actually pretty surprising, and they haven't even attacked yet. No, but real talk here, I think it's actually safe to say that 2013 is definitely the favorite to win so far, because right now they've been absolutely dominating everyone. Also, 2017 is on the attack next. And what direction is 2017 going to be headed? It looks like the exact same direction. 3 times in a row it's been northwest. The odds of that would have to be incredibly low to happen 3 straight times. So at this point, you probably think I'm rigging the video, because here's 2017. North would go right up here. Northwest would go right here. Well, what team is this territory? 2013. Once again, the 2013 draft class is getting into a matchup. Ain't no way. So really, there's only one thing you need to know about the 2017 draft class. Robert Thomas is from this draft class, so you already know it's one of the best that's out there. Like, I mean, when you're producing talents like Robert Thomas, no, it's just crazy. And then he's on a line with Elias Pettersson and Jason Robertson. It's game over for that 2017 team. It's time to wrap it up. Miro Heiskanen and Cale Makar are also here. And in between the pipes, who do we have? None other than the Otter, Jake Ottinger. And we also have Jeremy Swayman backing him up. Low-key, this is a slept-on draft class. Y'all gotta start putting more respect on their name. If 2013 somehow survives this matchup, we might as well just crown them the champions. To win 4 straight defenses is absolutely unreal. They started off the period with a 2-1 lead, but it's 3-3 heading into the 3rd period. Drake Batherson's making the comeback. This is going to be a very interesting game. Also, yes, Burakovsky did pick up a goal in the 2nd period. He's the reason that this game is tied right now. Burakovsky picked up his 2nd goal of the game. We're heading into the final 54 seconds. Burakovsky's 2nd of the game. We just have to appreciate his greatness right now. A goal with 4 minutes left in the 3rd period. He picked up the goal in the 2nd. Without that goal, the 2011 draft class would have a 1-goal lead right now. Also, Drake Batherson's picked up a hat trick. Just noticed that. Shout out to Drake Batherson then. So really, I don't think it's any surprise about what the outcome is in overtime, because Robert Thomas has the puck. He's going to weave between a couple defenders. He's going to get some fantastic passing started, and then Jason Robertson, he's going to bury the OT winner. Unfortunately, luck has just ran out for that 2013 draft class, and 2017's making some massive moves, claiming a ton of land. And we all know why 2017 won. They had Robert Thomas on the team. That man was just unstoppable, even though he didn't pick up a goal or an assist, or I don't even think he took any shots. But it was the Robert Thomas morale that was the difference maker, and that's just a fact. Moving right on over to our next matchup, we're going to see the 2020 draft class on the attack next. Now, if we somehow end up northwest once again, okay, this is just getting stupid. I know it's not northwest, but it's north. Why do we keep on heading north? We literally only head 2 directions. There's still east and there's still south, but nah. Let's head north. So this is the exact moment I realized I don't have the 2020 NHL draft on this map right here. And I actually have a very valid reason for that. So I want you guys to pay attention to the 2022 draft class logo from Montreal, okay? This is what 2022 looked like. Here's what the 2022 draft logo looks like, and I think you'll understand why I got them confused. Here's the logo. There's virtually no difference other than one saying 2022 and this one saying 2020. They're literally the exact same logo, no difference. So when I was going over all the draft class logos, I think you understand why I got these two confused. So for the sake of this video, the 2022 draft class is now being added to the map. But where are they being added is the next question. I'm going to put the 2020 draft class right here. This is going to mean they're going to take on the 2021 draft class, and the reason I'm doing this is I feel like this is the most fair matchup we could possibly see. It's either they take on 2021 or 2019. I feel like 2021 is a more fair matchup for this draft class, seeing as it wasn't a super strong one, because I don't want to put them against like 2015 and they're just going to get blown out. So right here is where the 2020 draft class is going to be placed, and they're going to be taking on 2021. I apologize for not having 2020 on the map earlier, but I also want to know who the graphic designer was for the NHL when you designed these logos. Why did you make them identical? I blame you for that. So the 2020 draft class, a lot of this team's still young as we know, but they got some solid pieces here in Tim Stutzel and Lucas Raymond, and then you have guys like Lafreniere and Quinton Byfield. But I think we got to give these guys a break, give them a bit more time to develop. If they haven't developed in 3 years, then nah. Those number 1 and 2 overall picks just did not pan out. Defensively, they have some strong pieces here in Jake Sanderson and Jamie Drysdale. I mean, I guess I should rephrase the word strong pieces because they are only 83 overalls. Meanwhile, in between the pipes, they do have an 80 overall Devin Levi, so I mean, by rights, they should be able to beat the 2021 draft class. But we're gonna have to take a quick look at who's on their team. Nah, real talk, it's actually Raps. Matty Beniers is the top guy here in an 84 overall. Dylan Gunther, 79. I guess you have some nice pieces here on the second line, 82, 81 overalls. The bottom 6 does not look good. Defensively, you have Owen Power here, Luke Hughes, and JJ Moser. I guess you can work with that. However, in between the pipes, you got Jesper Wallstead and Sebastian Kosa. A 79 overall and a 74, that's definitely not the move. All right, so we got 2 draft classes full of a bunch of young players. Let's see what's going to happen here. The 2020 draft class is immediately flying out the gate. They have themselves a 4-1 lead heading into the third period. I think it's safe to say this one's wrapped up, so I'm just going to simulate the rest of it. A 5-1 win for 2020. Now, real talk, 2021 low-key kind of got screwed here, but it's just the way she goes. Nothing you can do about it. Thankfully, this isn't NHL Imperialism when I have actual NHL teams playing, because imagine if I forgot the Chicago Blackhawks or Toronto Maple Leafs or something. Y'all would be calling from my head, no cap. We've already seen a lot of the newer draft classes. I want to see one of the older ones. Give me like 2007 or something. I guess 2016 is still an option. And what direction are we going to see 2016 headed? Not north, but it is west. Northwest to be exact. So we can find 2016 all the way over here, and based on that direction, that means they're going to have to take on the 2007 draft class, because 2007 actually owns this territory just northwest of 2016. As we know, the 2016 draft class is a very strong one. Austin Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk, DeBrincat, you got Laine Thompson and Clayton Keller on that second line, and on the bottom 6, you still got some studs here in Jesper Bratt and Jordan Kyrou. Taking a look at their defense, you got Sergachev and Adam Fox on the first pairing, McAvoy and Girard on the second, and on that third pairing, Chikrin and Hronek. I definitely wouldn't complain about that, especially with who you have in between the pipes. You got Carahart and Gustafsson. I think this team could go on a bit of a run. 2016 is going to be coming out the gate hot with Austin Matthews picking up the first goal of the game. And I also just remembered we have Joe NHL's in between the pipes. Yeah, so I think 2016's got this one all wrapped up. Yeah, Joe NHL, he's not going to be getting a shutout this time around. He's actually going to be allowing 5 goals, and 2016 is going to cruise through this matchup. Let's be real with ourselves here. The fact that 2007 survived one matchup honestly doesn't even make too much sense, seeing as they don't have a goalie. Also, I moved the 2020 logo to right here. That just means they own both of these territories right here. I could color it in and make it very easy on myself, but why would I do that? So I think it's about time we see the 2015 draft class get in the mix, seeing as they are one of the best draft classes. Never mind, we're getting the youngest draft class in 2022. And what direction is the 2022 draft class going to be headed? Never would have expected this one. Northwest. It just never changes, does it? Fortunately though, guys, I have some bad news for us. We can't go northwest here, because if we do, I have no clue where this draft class is going to be heading. They're not going to be matching up against anyone, so that means we're going to have to spin the arrow once again. So what direction is the arrow going to be giving us this time? No, like, we're not doing this. Give me something other than north. You know what? We're going south. This team really doesn't actually have that much of an option. They have to play the 2016 draft class no matter what. But nah, the wheel's just really messing around right now. So realistically, there should be absolutely no way the 2022 draft class wins this. I mean, respectfully, your best guys here are Shane Wright and Slafkovsky. They were the top 2 picks in the draft. Honestly, this team has nothing. Like, I don't even know why I'm attempting to hype them up. This team's cooked. Respectfully, of course. Also, I understand I could have added guys like Logan Cooley and Cutter Gaucher onto the team. The only problem is both of these guys are in college, so EA doesn't have their rights yet. So yeah, this is what we're going with. All right, so I think it's pretty clear who's going to be winning this matchup, and it's definitely not going to be the 2022 draft class. That being said, we are tied after 1 period. Nah, but respectfully, it's over here. The 2016 draft class is taken over. A 7-2 victory for them. I think we all saw that one coming, let's be honest. And with that win from the 2016 draft class, they're going to be claiming a lot more land. So we're officially down to our final 4 draft classes, and you already know which draft class I want to see. It's definitely not 2009. But 2009 probably has a handful of studs. Before we take a look at this team though, we gotta figure out which way the arrow is going, and I can't believe it. South. I'm absolutely stunned at the fact that we're heading south right now, because based on the past few spins, I thought it was impossible. And through heading south, it looks like the 2009 draft class is going to be taking on the 2018 draft class. All around, I would say the 2009 draft class is really solid. I mean, Chris Carter, John Tavares, Riley Smith on that first line. On the second, you got Brain Chen, Matt Duchene, Evander Kane. And in the bottom 6, it's looking pretty strong. I don't think this team really has any weaknesses there. Defensively, they're still pretty solid here. The lowest overall being an 83 overall Nick Leddy. The rest of the defense is great though. And in between the pipes, you got Robin Leonard, you got Darcy Kemper, 286 overalls. Pretty difficult to bet against this team. So let's just jump right into this one. 2018's off to a hot start with Noah Dobson picking up the first goal of the game. And it looks like 2018's going to keep on picking up goals. They're picking up 2 more in the second period. Ryan O'Reilly's finally going to be able to get the 2009 draft class on the board, but it might be too late. Wallstrom's going to be picking up a goal with 5 minutes left. Evander Kane's going to pick up one with 2 minutes left, but it looks like time's running out for the 2009 draft class, and they're going to be falling to the 2018 draft class. I would have jumped into this game, but it wasn't close by any means, so I'm not going to be wasting our time here. And with that defense from the 2018 draft class, they're going to be claiming a bit of land north of them. So what I'm asking for here is either the 2006 or 2015. I was assuming based on me wanting one of those 2 draft classes, we were going to land on 2014, but instead we got 2015, so I'll take it. And which team is going to get blown out by the 2015 draft class? So which team is going to be getting blown out by the 2015 draft class? I guess it's whatever team is southeast of them. And I take that back because 2015 is actually down here, so they can't really go southeast. I guess we're gonna have to spin that arrow once again. So what direction are you gonna give me this time around? Ironically, we actually need to go northwest. We can't go northeast, that's just into the ocean, so give me northwest here, or mainly north. We're going to call this north for the sake of this video. So if the 2015 draft class were to head directly north, that means they're going to have to take on the 2014 class. So as we already know, the 2015 draft class is one of the best draft classes of recent memory. I mean, just look at the forward core here. Pavel Zacha is the worst guy here, and he's still an 83 overall. And to have him on your 4th line, that's not even that bad. Defensively, they have an incredibly strong core here with Zach Werenski and Rasmus Anderson leading the way. And in between the pipes, I think this is their only weak spot. Samsonov at an 86 overall, and Aiden Hill backing him up at an 82. And although the 2015 draft class is incredibly stacked, you definitely can't sleep on 2014. Leon Draisaitl, Pasta, and William Nylander on the first line. Ehlers, Point, and Tuck on the second. The bottom 6 is absolutely incredible. And defensively, this team's still incredibly strong. Devon Taves and Aaron Ekblad are going to be leading the first pairing, and on the other 2 pairings, you got a bunch of solid players, and the worst guy here is an 84 overall Forsling. I mean, I don't really consider that a bad player, so I think you can definitely work with that. However, in terms of goaltending, the 2014 draft class is miles ahead. Shesterkin and Sorokin, 2 elite Russian goaltenders. I think this might be the difference maker here. So I think this matchup right here is just going to be a battle of the goaltenders. Both teams are going to be picking up a goal in the first period, but in the second, it looks like the 2014 draft class is getting ahead. Pasta and Draisaitl are both picking up a goal each, and now it's a 2-goal game heading into the final frame. People always seem to talk about how the 2015 draft class is one of the greatest draft classes of all time. I feel like we sleep on the 2014 draft class. Like, I mean, offensively, 2015 is definitely better than them. Defensively, I think they're pretty even, but goaltending makes a massive difference. Sorokin and Shesterkin compared to Samsonov and Aiden Hill, there's a massive gap there. So I feel like the 2014 draft class is actually closer to 2015 than people realize. And in the final seconds of this one, Leon Draisaitl is not going to allow 2015 to get back into this game. He's going to bury the empty netter, and 2014 is completing the upset. And with that great defense from 2014, they're going to be claiming all the land 2015 had, which is all Florida. So we're down to our final 2 draft classes here, and it looks like we're going to be finishing with 2014. Well, I guess not finishing. We're going to get 2014 here, and then the next matchup is going to feature 2006. 2006 is also every draft class, 2006 and before. But we'll deal with that when we get to it. What directions 2014 are going to be heading? They're getting into back-to-back matchups here, and now they're going to be heading west. And I already know for a fact West is going to lead into a matchup for this team, and it looks like they're going to be taking on the 2016 draft class. They just took down 2015, now it's time to take down 2016. So let's not waste any time here. We already know who's on both of these rosters, so let's get right into the matchup. And right out the gate, it looks like the 2016 draft class is going to be dominating. The offense on this team can't be stopped. They're picking up the first 3 goals of the game. They're going to be picking up another one in the second. I think it's safe to say this game's all wrapped up. A 6-0 win for the 2016 draft class. Who's in between the pipes for this team? Like, actually, I can't remember who is in between the pipes for 2016. Who is it? Let me take a quick look. Carter Hart. This man Carter Hart's been carrying the past 2 matchups. I believe he's taken back-to-back shutouts now. Shout out to my man Carter Hart. Keep doing your thing. Hopefully you get out of Philly soon. So we already know who our last attacking draft class is going to be. That's 2006. But I'll wait for the wheel to finish spinning. It's 2006 indeed. So spinning that last wheel might have been just wasting a bunch of time, but this one isn't. We're going to be heading southwest. Okay, I need to say one thing here. Actually, I need to say 2. Stick on the Ice's brain has officially stopped working until NHL 24 comes out. These last handful of videos, the brain compartments and departments have just not been working. First of all, EA hasn't even added the 2023 draft class yet, so I don't even know why they're on this map. Second of all, you're telling me I added 2023 to this draft class map. Also, I haven't even created a 2023 draft class roster anyway, but also, you're telling me I added 2023 but not 2020. So I added the draft class that doesn't even have players in the game yet, but I forgot to add 2020, which does have players in the game. Yeah, so we'll just take this off the board real quick and pretend that never happened. And 2006, we're gonna say you're going south, so you're taking on 2000 and whatever. Also, 2014 just lost. I completely forgot. You're taking on 2016. 2016 actually owns Florida now, so we're just gonna make this blue real quick. Yeah, the brain departments and compartments just haven't been working. And if you're wondering why I'm saying brain departments and compartments, shout out to my boy Ricky. If you know, you know. So 2006 is taking on 2016. There's the most simple explanation. So this roster right here is 2006, 2005, 2004, basically every draft class from 2006 and before. That's why you see guys like Crosby, Marchand, Ovechkin, Pavelski, Malkin, Kopitar. Some of these guys weren't drafted in the same draft class, but I mean, I can't make a 2005 and 2004 draft class. There's just not enough players. Defensively, this team's not that strong. The best guy here is Chris Letang and Brett Burns, but these other guys, still quality NHL defensemen, but not superstars. Meanwhile, in between the pipes, they do have a superstar, I guess. They've got themselves an old Marc-Andre Fleury and an old Varlamov. But even though these guys are still old, they're still both 86 overalls. And real talk, I kind of want Fleury starting over Varlamov. It really doesn't make a difference. An 86 is an 86. Let's just get into the matchup. So the real question about this matchup is 2006 going to be able to stop Carter Hart? Because really, Carter Hart's the only thing that's stopping this team. Also, for some reason, old is not capitalized because it's the Oakland Old Heads. I don't know why that's not capitalized. But now we have a tie game after 40 minutes, entering the third period in a tie game. Can Carter Hart save the day once again for 2016? Probably. He probably will. So we're entering the final minute of the game. Neither of these teams have been able to break through in the final 20 minutes. So my guess is we're going to have to head to overtime. So it doesn't look like either team's going to be able to break through in the final minute of this game. So we're headed to overtime. 7 minutes into overtime, Patrick Laine going to have the puck low in the zone. He's going to be able to find Tage Thompson, who's going to tee one up into the back of the net. And it looks like 2016 is going to be taking another matchup. And with that win from 2016, they just keep on gaining land. They have the most so far, and we're down to our final 4 teams. One of them happening to be 2020. You're not like the rest of the draft classes here, let's be completely honest. So no more wasting time. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. We got the final 4 draft classes here, and it looks like 2017 is going to be on the attack first. And it looks like 2017 is going to be heading east, so I think that means they match up against 2016. And just to double check, here's the 2017 draft class. Right beside them, some blue territory. That's 2016. We got 2017 taking on 2016. To start off this matchup, Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to be picking up the first goal of the game in the first period, and in the second period we're going to see the 2016 draft class double down. They're picking up their second goal of the game, and they have themselves a 2-goal lead heading into the final period. In the third period, with 2017 having their backs against the wall, what are they going to do? They're going to step up when it matters most. 3 unanswered goals. We're entering the final minute here, and 2017 is about to complete the comeback. In the final seconds of this game, 2017 is making one last push. It looks like Charlie McAvoy is going to get the last shot of the game. It's going to be stopped, and that means the 2017 draft class is coming out victorious. So after that win, here's what the map's looking like. I think it's pretty clear to see who the favorite is right now. And obviously, that's the 2020 draft class right here, owning these 2 spots. Now, if this team wins, might have to scrap the video, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna do that though, because a lot of effort's gone to this video. There's been a lot of mistakes. We've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, but I'm not packing it up. So we're going to spin this wheel one last time, and then we're going to find out who's the 2 teams going to be matching up in the final. The 2022 draft class is going to be facing off against somebody, and you know what? and executive decisions being made. Since the 2017 draft class owns so much land, like there's literally 5 states that are occupied that they don't own, the 2020 draft class is going to have to take on 2018. The winner of that matchup gets to play 2017 in the final. So here we go, the final matchup. The winner is going to make it all the way to the final, and they're going to be taking on 2017. The 2018 class is going to be absolutely dominating the first period, outshooting them 14-4, and they're also picking up 2 goals. But 2020 is going to be responding in the second period, and we got ourselves a 1-goal game heading into the third period. Unfortunately, it seems like the 2020 draft class just can't match up with the 2018, as 2018 is going to be taking them down to 4-2 victory, and they're off to the final. So we're officially down to our last 2 draft classes. We got 2017 taking on 2018. Which draft class is going to come out on top? We're about to find out. So here we go. No need to waste any time. Who's my favorite heading into this matchup? It's pretty obvious, the 2017 draft class. And that's for one reason and one reason only. The man, the myth, the legend, Robert Thomas is on 2017, and currently they've got themselves a 2-0 lead. We're in the third period. Is the 2018 draft class going to be able to make the comeback? Are they going to be able to defeat 2017? So far, it doesn't look like it. Nah, it looks like this game's all wrapped up, but we'll jump in because why not? And it looks like 2017 is going to be taking this one home, and that's all because of Robert Thomas. So I think it's safe to say that 2017 draft class is going to be taking this one home. They're coming out as the superior draft classes of all of these we saw today. And honestly, I'm surprised it's 2017 out of all the draft classes. Like 2015 was better. 2014 was elite. Like, people are sleeping on that draft class. From top to bottom, they're just solid. But after everything's said and done, 2017 is coming out on top, and we all know that's because of Robert Thomas. He single-handedly turned this team around.